Hi there. Good to see y'all. First week, last 10 since I've been able to do a live stream, so if I'm a little bit rusty, I have to shake off the rust from 10 weeks of not doing it. So, this is a fun time that we get together. I see a few of you joined. Blue Lightning GT, Jacob. Okay. Good. Brandon. Yeah, Keisha is good. Okay. So, Denise and Tyler. Good. Good. And Control. Can just watched your video today, Control. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right because you pronounced your name. I'm just trying to remember. So hopefully it's close. Okay, very good. So while other people are joining, does anybody see the bit of humor in what I've pictured on the screen? It's close. Okay. Okay. Are you talking in?
I am talking to him. Hi guys, I'm also here. Robert, well, he's my dad, but I'm also his.
Yeah. So why is it so humorous? Tell me why that picture is so humorous. Why I got a chuckle out of it when I saw it and had to share it.
James got it.
Did James get it? Yeah, he got it. He's laughing, but he's not telling me why. Come on, let everybody else in on the joke there, James. Dan came. An ATM and Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. So they can steal a whole bunch of Bitcoin out of it, right? Not physical. That's it. Not physical. Yeah, it's so funny. We don't see a whole lot of ATM machines for Bitcoin around here in the U.S., but in Europe they're all over the place, especially in Europe and in Israel and many places in the Middle East. You actually see places where you can exchange or buy Bitcoin right at an ATM. So that's pretty cool. So it's I just thought I'd share that. So hi Terrell. And we're getting a whole bunch. That's good. That's good. Okay, so what we do in this, the whole point of getting together, even though this is an online class, the whole point of getting together is because I needed the class to be dynamic. The Bitcoin and blockchain markets are changing so fast that there's no way that I could just simply post a book and a bunch of lectures and have them last for very long. It's literally a situation where it's changing fast enough that I need to give you good current information when it comes up. So we'll talk about news items here. In fact, once a week you'll be posting a news article that's due on Wednesday night, so tonight. So while you're listening here and contributing, you could be looking up a web article that you could post to the discussion tonight, and those we discuss during the week. And then usually, if one tickles my funny bone, I'll take and talk about one of them or two of them next week when I do the live stream. So if I see a particularly good one, I'll pick it up and we'll have a discussion amongst the whole class. So that'll be good. So literally, it's a situation where all of you and I can get together and we can talk about what's currently happening in these spaces, because it changes faster than IT changes, and IT changes pretty doggone. So Adam is here, I see. Okay, and I see quite a few people. Okay, Control is Master Dad. Okay, gotcha. Okay, very good. Hi, Nolan. Okay, very good. Very good. what we're going to do first is we're just going to have a little bit of fun first. One of the things that we find in our Lindenwood package is a game called Kahoot, and so what we want to do is get into Kahoot. Now, what you have to do is scramble here and go get your cell phones, or you can be on your computer. However, you get into Kahoot, you need to be in Kahoot.it, Robert. Or
I'm double checking.
dot,
Kahoot.it. Their
okay.
version.
You get into Kahoot.it, and I'll be starting the Kahoot session. As soon as we start it, then we can go ahead and you put in a number, and when I see everybody logged in, then we'll just get started. And it's a question and answer game, and it keeps score, and you get to have fun with the person in first place, and laugh at the person that missed all the questions, and that kind of thing. So we'll talk about it today as we go. Now, the pin that you're going to put in once you get to Kahoot IT, and it asks you for a game pin as you join a game. The pin you're going to put in is 3023957. And on the screen, if you're watching the live stream at the same time, after about 7 to 9 second delay, you'll see the names start popping up on the screen. And so I've seen 3 names: Jacob, Denise, and Alf. The world with a pacifier. Okay, that's fine. Tyler and Daniel and Kate. Control. Uh-oh. Jacob with the name flashed through. Okay. Brandon and Tyrell and Caitlin, KC. So we got a Kate and a KC. Both are Caitlins. That's cool. Spelled differently too. One with an I, one with a Y. Nice to be different. Be different. Adam. So we've got 12 people that have joined so far. And do we have a count as to how many are actually online at the moment, Robert? 16 people watching, 12 people in Kahoot, so let's wait a little bit longer. We have 12, even though Clacy joined, so maybe somebody dropped off. Let's, there we go. We got 13. Looking for 3 more folks to join us. Oh, wait a minute. I'm one of the ones that's watching on. I would be.
At 14.
Okay.
Get disconnected.
All right, very good. So let's get started and have fun. Now, what I will try to do is try to remember that when you're looking at your phone, you're going to just see the colors. You're not actually going to see the answers in text, but you're going to see the colors. And I'll try to mention what colors belong to which answers so that you can answer correctly. Or if you've got the live stream up, after about 9 seconds, you'll see the colors and the answers. Okay? Yes, there's names right in the top. Okay, you ready to go? All righty. And the first question is, in Blockchain for Business Week 1, true or false, all cryptocurrencies are on a blockchain, but not all blockchains involve cryptocurrency. True or false? All cryptocurrencies are on blockchain, but not all blockchains involve cryptocurrency. Blue is true and red is false. I think that's appropriate for false, don't you think? Should have been green for true. And we give you a good 60 seconds, so we have 11 people that have answered at this point. We're looking for 13.
For the highest score, answer and
yeah, actually, they do. The first person to answer gets a little bit not higher score than the last person to answer, even though both answered correctly. All right, looking for one more answer. Hard to choose between 2 answers, I realize. You know, you can get a coin, flip a coin, and everybody got it right. Woohoo! I like that. I like that.
Better than last.
Better than all semesters. Better. We've got an informed crowd here, folks. Informed crowd. So here that just tells who answered first. So Denise, you answered it first, and Jacob came in second. Since everybody answered true, you're probably pretty close, all bunched pretty close together. All righty, so let's go to the next question. We have a puzzle here. What are the largest cryptocurrencies by market cap? And so we have, as we scroll down here, Ethereum red, BNB, that's Binance coin, blue, Bitcoin yellow, and Tether green. Put them in order and then submit your answer when you're done. Hi, David.
Raglutai.
And David, if you are you joined, and if not, you can join a game called Kahoot at what they call Kahoot.it. You see it up here in my URL bar, here, Kahoot.it. And you can join with this game pin that's listed right down here on the screen, 302-3957. And we got 12 out of the 13 answers. Okay. Well, we got quite a few good answers. Okay. Actually, we only got 5 out of 5 and 10 bad answers.
4 in a row.
Yeah, that is. It is pretty difficult. Okay, so Bitcoin is by far the biggest and first of all the cryptocurrencies. Ethereum was the second cryptocurrency to be developed. Vitalik Buterin from Canada wanted something quite a bit different in his blockchain. He didn't want just a currency. It was focused mostly just on currency. He wanted Ethereum to be extensible so that it could run smart contracts, which those smart contracts could then turn into kind of if-then statements and basically word problems that could allow it to do a number of functions rather than just serve as a currency. Tether is next, oddly enough, and Binance Coin is next. All righty, next. So we see, let's see. Okay, Jacob is now on top. Denise slipped to 5. So we see these are probably all the folks that got most of the answer correct. Okay, question 3. The quiz. There's multiple selections. What are the features of a CBDC or central bank digital currency? Red is it has a limited quantity. Blue is none of these. Yellow is distributed. Green is universally accepted. And teal is immutable. And purple is private.
A multi-solution.
And I think, Robert, we have a little bit more hesitation on this question as the answers are coming in a little slower than usual.
Again, like you said,
Trying to put him on my football commentator.
This is one of those things kind of new to talk about CBDC, a new topic that wasn't a topic.
And we just happen to be all over the place with 2 purples and 6 teals and 4 greens, 8 yellows. 2 people got it right. And there's probably a lot of explanation that goes along with this. Limited quantity. Bitcoin has limited quantity, and from what I understand, Ethereum will eventually have limited quantity as well. CBDCs, they might be distributed. They're right now they're talking about the central banks managing and running all of the central bank digital currencies. And to me, the word central kind of means not distributed. So doubtful that they're going to be distributed. Immutable, we'll see. Maybe, probably not. I mean, it's not. You don't even know at this point that the central bank digital currencies are going to run on a blockchain yet. I mean, with all the features that that the Bank of England wants to put into their CBDC for the pound, it can't possibly be immutable. They are putting it
One of
together.
the features they listed was reversible,
Yes.
which is the opposite of immutable.
Yep. Reversible is not immutable, that's for sure. Universally accepted, that may happen. It all depends on which banks or which countries decide that they don't like other countries. You know, like Russia right now. Okay. And it's private, definitely not private. It will not be private. If that's the one thing I can get across, is and use your screen for the end. Okay, good. The big thing they want out of a CBDC, and the reason they don't like Bitcoin, is the fact that the transactions are transparent on Bitcoin, and they need them or want them, or they feel they have to have the ability to find out who is transacting what with whom and when, and for how much. They need to of course, to use of, we need to get rid of fraud and protect all of us honest folks out. We know how that goes. I trust government. So we can go from there. Okay, next. How are we doing? Oh, Robert. Now that's not you, is it? Robert, you cheat. You wrote the questions. Okay, I see now. Okay, Robert. Chill a little bit, Robert. Okay. Like I say, I have fun with it. Satoshi Nakamoto invented the blockchain and implemented in Bitcoin true blue or false red. All right, we have 8 answers in. So we're up to 10. Okay. I would expect most people to get wrong on. Yeah,
Right.
it is actually.
Of course, I wouldn't tell you to say that.
Wouldn't want to let everybody in. Okay. Oh, I was made wrong. No, I was made right. Most people got the answer wrong. So why is it false? Didn't Satoshi invent blockchain? No. He implemented it in Bitcoin? Yes. But blockchain was invented in the 1970s. Oddly enough, just wasn't put together with cryptography. And the combination of blockchain linking along with cryptography was what made it able to put in Bitcoin and solve the. They couldn't figure out the double spend problem until they added cryptography. Okay.
It's one of those like technologists, quantum computing.
And theoretically, it's been possible for a long, long time. So it was invented, they just have to figure out the implementation. All right, so let's go to the next one here. And Robert, I would expect to see you dropping in the standings. And Adam Adam took the lead here. Okay, very good. Has a streak of 4 correct answers in a Robert. Really? Okay. You've got competition, guys. Irene, good to see you, Irene. I'm going to click next here. We're in the middle of a Kahoot, Irene. If you go to kahoot.it up here in the URL, kahoot.it on your cell phone or on your computer, whatever you're using. And the next question is, and the game pin is down here showing on the screen and below. Which of these industries does not have a large-scale blockchain solution? Weather tracking is red, global shipping is blue, international bank transfer, farm to table food truck, green, traffic monitoring, steel, and all of the above. Blockchain is everything. And it's purple. Yeah. Did I call that my favorite color? No? Okay. Well, it did bias the results. Yep.
Or they knew the answer.
Or they knew the answer. They do have it in all of those places. In fact, we'll talk about a lot of those during the live stream chance that we. So yeah, those 12 that answered all of the above were correct. And we have a little bit of shifting in Caitlin came up. Casey Caitlin came up, and Daniel moved up. Okay, and Terrell is the highest climber, went up 3 spaces. That's great. Okay, let's see. What organization has already rolled out a CBDC, a central bank digital currency? Which organization already has done that? The Federal Reserve in red. Blue is the International Monetary Fund. The yellow one is Council on Foreign Relations. Green is the World Economic Forum. And for those of you struggling to get an answer, the picture you see on the screen is the coin we're talking about that has been deployed by that organization. We just need a good blockchain. Okay, we have our answers evenly split. That can't get any more even than that, can it?
Wow.
Good. 3 all the way across. Well, the coin in question is the International Monetary Fund. The Federal Reserve has not yet issued a CBDC, although they are working on it. The Council on Foreign Relations, I haven't heard that they are doing anything in that space. And the World Economic Forum is probably your largest repository of blockchain information and repository of information concerning industries in blockchain of any one source in the world. But they have not deployed a CBDC, although they advocate it strongly. Okay, let's see who did answer. Oh, we have one person that advanced. Control moved back up. Okie dokie. Eiler moved up 5 places. Way cool. Okay, next. Another quiz. What is the difference between a token and a non-fungible token? Red, tokens do not have value where NFTs do. Or blue, NFTs are specifically tied to an image. Or green, yellow, they're the same, but because they're both tokens. Or green, an NFT is a unique location on a blockchain. This one's a hard one. Kind of a preview of all the things. This quiz is kind of a preview of all the things you're going to learn in this class. I would not be surprised that there are people who don't know them. But it kind of gives me an idea how many people do know them, which is kind of cool. Alrighty. Well, an NFT is a unique location on a blockchain. NFTs are specifically tied to an image? Actually not. A non-fungible token is actually attached to something that is unique. It could be an image. In fact, a lot of the hoopla around NFTs were tied to images, but they could be tied to pieces of real estate, or they could be tied to anything that you could have title to, or a unique a unique ownership. So that's why NFTs are just not specifically tied to an image, they're tied to a lot of things.
It's kind of have the first of it, or in this case, papers on the spot in the blockchain, and you have attached to it by field the image item.
So car titles could easily be NFTs. They're non-fungible, meaning they're unique. My car is unique; it has a serial number. So good. Tokens do not have value where NFTs do. Well, tokens do have value because they're tied to items of value, just like the NFTs are tied, just like tokens. And well, let's be more full. Bitcoin is a token. Ethereum coin is a token. All of those are tokens. They represent an item of value, either digitally or physically. NFTs are thought more as of having attachment to physical objects, but literally the whole idea of a non-fungible token is that it's a token, but the thing that makes it unique is it's tied to something, versus Bitcoin being not unique, therefore it's not non-fungible. It is fungible. It has the same value for Bitcoin. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. You just never hear about any other form of NFT than images. That is a true statement. That is a true statement from Adam. And you see the NFT market, by the way, crashing. What was that company that you said that?
Oh, the Bored Ape Yacht
Bored
Club.
Apes Yacht Club. Yeah, they're pretty much worthless today, even though they had this huge craze at one point. I don't know how many people are going to be able to sell the first image, the first tweet they ever did, and okay.
Because again, blockchain, there's have a picture digitally signed.
Yeah. I always had a hard time realizing that had any value at all. Anyway, some people did. Some people paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay. So Dave moved up 5 places. Great job, David. Okay. What is an NFT? Now, did I just give that totally away in the last?
We did.
Non-functioning trade. See, these are randomized, and this question ought to have come up a lot earlier than the other. A non-fungible token, or a computer-generated image, or a network-facilitated trade.
And what you see pictured, completely non-fungible, non-copyable, non-distributable image that I copied it onto this website.
And the owner of this can sue you now. Not likely to happen.
No. I didn't.
Didn't steal its place on the. Okay. All righty. We have 13 answers in. Somebody needs to just plug in an answer. There's 14. We have a 15. Okay. And good. Yes. Everybody was listening. Good.
Lightning blue is that.
Lightning blue.
He gives it
Okay.
very bad.
His voice is cutting out.
I mean,
Okay. Robert and Richard are both online. So who? Okay. Robert and Richard are the two voices. Which one is cutting out? Can you? Richard is the instructor. Robert is the. Okay. Okay. Question 9 out of 10 is if I'm cutting out, maybe I'm going above threshold.
yeah, I've been watching.
Okay.
I've also not been.
Okay. What are some of the benefits of blockchain for business? Now we're getting down to brass tacks. Creates a trustworthy database of information that can be saved and edited. Blue is none of the above. Yellow stores information in a single authoritative source to prevent data loss. Green provides human readable data storage. Teal, always open system. An always open system for public viewing and audits. And purple, the chain structure allows for seamless branching data. We both keep cutting out. That's interesting.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
chords.
Okay.
Said before we started.
We're all the way across the board on this. Now, so let me go through each of these answers and show you what invalidates that particular answer. First off, it creates a trustworthy database in red, but it cannot be edited. It's what they call immutable, meaning once it's been cryptography linked to about 3 blocks beyond it, it's almost nearly impossible to edit. Yes, it is choppy at times. Yes, it cuts out. Mostly Robert, but now every now and then Richard too. Okay. Thanks for the input. And always pull the mic closer.
I'll keep looking at it.
Okay.
Thank you guys for the feedback. We always have a couple, especially at the start of this.
Okay. The yellow one, it says stores information in a single authoritative location. And actually, that's wrong because it's meant to be distributed to multiple locations. The idea of Bitcoin being very difficult to change, not only is its immutability in the cryptography, but also the fact that it's on hundreds of thousands of machines all the way around the world. And those machines are keeping a copy of the ledger, and all of those get the new data on the ledger. And for a person to go back and change and edit something, they have to get through the cryptography, and then they have to convince all the other computers that changing it is a correct thing to do, and most of them will reject the change. So, okay. Provides human readable data storage, and I guarantee you that it is not human readable. Guaranteed there. Nobody answered that answer, so that's good. Always an open system for public viewing and audits. Glad nobody answered that because it's not always open, especially the blockchains for business usually will be permissioned blockchains, meaning they'll only let people in there who have access based on a password. And then the chain structure allows for seamless branching of data. Seamless, no. It allows for branching of data, yes. In fact, it's a natural attribute of Bitcoin to constantly branch, but the longest branch is considered the valid branch, and the miners will then build only on the longest branch. And it usually goes only 1, maybe 2 blocks into a rejected branch before it adopts the one branch. So it's not at all seamless. It just does so in order to validate the data along the way. The only time it branches is what they call a hard fork or a soft fork, where they deliberately seek to kill the old branch and change the coding, or a soft fork in the case of Bitcoin to create Bitcoin Classic. Was meant to be a hard fork and kill the Classic, but Bitcoin went on further, and you have 2 forks of the Bitcoin blockchain at some point. They created Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin. So lots going on. I'm not sure what the cutting out is going to be. We'll review the tape, the recording afterwards, and see if we can figure out what happened, what was going on.
I'm monitoring it now. It looks like it might have been the noise gate, so we'll see if that fixes it going forward.
Yeah, you took away the noise gate?
Yep, it's off now. So,
okay.
And Jacob comments that he asks, is that because of it being hashed? And yes, all the data in the blockchain is encrypted, so it is never human readable. It can only be seen if you have the ability to decrypt that particular transaction, because you're the one who did that transaction. So then you can view it. You can't undo it or modify it or change it anyway.
Yeah, you have to have the private key to be able to get to the data. Yes. Sounds good now. He says that was the solution.
Cool.
Okay. We
thanks for the feedback, guys.
what was it called prior to calling it a noise gate? It was called sound detection,
Yeah, it's a voice detection.
voice detection.
Yeah. something
All
like that.
the old microphones that had voice detection that basically waited to start recording until they heard something always ended up with a little bit of a lag and it would cut out. So we thought the noise gate would be better than that, but obviously it's not. Okay, KC has 3 correct answers in a row. That's great. That's great. Okay, and we have the last question. What's the difference between fiat and cryptocurrency? Red is cryptocurrency cannot be used to purchase real goods. It could be used to purchase a real expensive pizza. Anyway, blue, fiat currency can be printed at any time. Crypto is governed by a rule set. Yellow, fiat currency cannot be used to purchase real goods. Or green, fiat currency has a set quantity. Crypto is infinite with enough mining. And we've got answers coming in. In crypto we trust. That's a great one. In other words, Vox. Voice, VOX. What's VOX stand for?
I'm not sure.
Hey David, can you tell me what VOX stands for? I've seen the term, but I don't remember. Okay, we're a little bit all over the ballpark here. 3 people answered correct. Fiat currency does not have a set quantity. For an example, during COVID, during the 3 months when COVID first started, the Federal Reserve of the United States pumped $1.5 trillion more into the economy. Anybody ever heard anything about inflation lately? Well, the whole reason for inflation is because the Federal Reserve printed so much money that it's chasing too few goods. And if you're in economics at all, and I know at least one of you has a finance major, that if you remember your finance, if there's too many dollars chasing too few goods, you have an increase in the prices. So no, fiat isn't a set quantity. And blue was the right answer. And yellow, fiat currency cannot be used to purchase real goods. Yeah, I use dollars to buy my house. I use dollars to go to the grocery store. And that's what a fiat currency is dollars. So maybe that's a definitional thing. Voice, etc. It is when your mic comes on when it hears something. Okay, box.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So we are. This is the last question, and now we have a little bit of fun seeing who ended up with number 1. And so the podium, number 3, Adam. Okay, and number 2, Tyler. And number 1 with the spotlight is Caitlin. KC. All right. You came from kind of nowhere. That's cool.
And that's a pretty good margin, too.
Yeah, no kidding. Good job, Casey. Good job. All right. I hope we learned a little bit. That was fun. It's always a lot of fun to play a little bit, to learn something in a non-threatening sort of fun way. So what do I need to do? I don't want to play again. I don't want to team up for a rematch.
You can just leave it.
And I should be able to just leave it.
Yeah.
Whether it complains or not.
Right.
Okay.
Don't let that website bully you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to leave that.
Okay.
All righty. All righty. Well, the next subject. Okay. It is 6:39. We got only 20 minutes, and I'm not going to take a break. I'm just going to go straight into it. We've had a lot of fun so far, but let's get down to brass tacks a little bit. I usually try to do a little bit on blockchain and a little bit on cryptocurrencies. This first article is going to be about cryptocurrencies. By the way, has anybody been alarmed at the Federal Reserve raising interest rates? Or anybody trying to buy a house and realizing that mortgage rates are going up? Well, that's a direct result of the Federal Reserve raising interest rates. trying to rein in this inflation that they caused in the first place. Um, so it's a simple issue of the only thing that central banks really can do in order to stop inflation is to stop people from buying. The only way they can stop people from buying is to make it too expensive to buy. And the way they make it too expensive to buy is to raise interest rates. You can't get loans for cars. You can't get loans for houses. You can't get loans to upgrade your house or to do a remodel project. On and on and on it goes. So Argentina has a big, big problem. They've had runaway inflation for a very long time. Historically, people run to the bank to exchange they actually run to the bank to get money so they can go to the grocery store and spend it as fast as they can so that they can have enough groceries to put on the table. 2 weeks later, it's worth less. The groceries cost more. It's going so fast you go to the store day after day and the price just keeps on going up. Thankfully, we don't have it that bad here in the U.S. We may see it that bad if the naysayers are true about what they're saying. We may see it, we may not. I don't know. I hope we don't. But this is an illustration of why the next article is happening, and that really is the fact that blockchain and Bitcoin cryptocurrencies are being accepted in the Central American and South American regions faster than the rest of the world. And the reason for that is simply, if you're in Argentina, what can you do? You can go try to buy gold real quick, okay? Or you can just go to your phone and, buy more Bitcoin with it. The minute it hits your bank, you're off buying Bitcoin. And then when you want to spend your money, and of course, Bitcoin is now worth a whole lot more in the Argentinian dollar than it was when you first bought the Bitcoin. You can then use that as a hedge to inflation. So what they've been doing is, this article here says, blockchain and cryptocurrencies have been seen as an alternative to protecting wealth. And that's exactly what we're talking about here, is that wealth is hard to keep a hold of if you're going to keep it in the currency of the country there when they have rampant inflation. Because every time you turn around, that dollar buys less and less and less. So Latin American economies see their local fiat currencies depreciate at a faster rate than anywhere else in the world. We've seen this in Argentina, like I just mentioned, 97% that's just what their central bank charges banks to loan to each other. The prevailing interest rate is much higher than that. So Argentina really has it bad. I really feel bad for them. Venezuela, who implemented Bitcoin as their currency of choice, as one of their official currencies, and Colombia, which has another, horrible inflation problem. So the numbers are 3 million people in Colombia own cryptocurrencies. Well, that's pretty much how many people own cryptocurrencies in the U.S. And the U.S. is a lot more populous than Colombia. So it's really, really strong down there. So according to the last research conducted by Finder, 8% of Colombian adults with access to the internet own an NFT. Now, I don't know quite how that applies, but I think more percentage of their people own cryptocurrencies than that too. El Salvador has been accepting Bitcoin as legal currency for a good number of years, about 3 years now, and they have significant areas where the cryptocurrency programmers gather, whole sections of their main cities down there that are just dedicated to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency programming and new innovation going on with cryptocurrencies down there. So El Salvador was criticized roundly for it. In fact, the U.S. government, the Federal Reserve, put them on the threat list for possibly destabilizing the dollar, because basically they dumped the U.S. dollar to go to Bitcoin. That's what you call a slap in the face. They saw Bitcoin as being more stable than the US dollar. So that ought to be telling you something there.
And what's interesting is they've invested in it significantly, not just by using or hoarding the money. They've actually set up a geothermal power plant that does nothing but mine Bitcoin, right?
That's
and
cool.
geothermal power is about as clean a power as you can get, which somewhat solves some of the big criticisms around mining crypto.
Yeah.
So, and allows them to have a much lower tax rate because now the government makes their own money instead of having to print it, causing inflation, or having to tax their citizens. So,
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
rather impressed with the system. At least that part of it.
That is quite cool. Okay. So, David commented, I'm always concerned when politicians do anything. Yeah, you know, I lived in Washington State for a while, and we left Washington State because it was just getting way too out of hand on a lot of things. But one thing that was happening there is we would always breathe a sigh of relief when the state Congress retired for the year.
Went out of session, yeah.
Went out of session, you know, because then we knew we were safe. You know, as long as they were in session, you knew that you had to watch everything. So, same here. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next subject because we've got 14 minutes left by my clock, and so let's go on to the next one. Now, the next one is strictly a blockchain article, and the whole point behind blockchain for business. And the whole reason you're taking the classes, we'll talk about how blockchain is used in cryptocurrencies. But generally, you'll be able to read a lot about what happens in the cryptocurrency space. There's reporters all over the place because you can make money at it. There's somebody that's more than willing to advise you on how to spend your money. So, frankly, there's a lot of information out there, but there's less information about how blockchain will improve businesses. And that is really the whole purpose of this class is so that you can learn how, when you go work for a business, how blockchain can be of benefit to the business. And then maybe at some point in time, you'll pick up blockchain programming because there's a really strong demand for blockchain programmers right now. A lot less people trying to fill those than there are people that are needed to fill those. Similar to the cybersecurity space, where we've got a lot more demand than we've got people to fill in the cybersecurity space. So here's basically where we're going with the classes, learning how this technology is of benefit, what advantages it has over traditional data storage mediums, and why. It is a very, very different type of data storage than what you get with others. And so I'm going to share with you just the tip of the iceberg tonight, and we'll continue to share as we share articles during the week and as we get together for the live streams to help people understand more and more, help all the class members understand more and more about what's happening. So this article is about blockchain technology improving their ability to market and sell their crops. Okay? Now, it comes right down to the fact that Trace One did a survey, and they found that 91% of consumers thought it was important to know where their food comes from. But only 12% wholeheartedly supported the safety of food they consume. And only 10% trust the quality. So what that's saying is the gulf between, I want to know where my food comes from, I want to know that it's safe, but I don't trust it. You know, plain, pure, and simple. And so what blockchain is attempting to do in this particular space is try to narrow that gap between the amount of trust based on information that's provided as to where it's coming from and what kind of operation, what farm it is coming from, so that the consumer can actually look up the farm and see what their methods are, see if they've had any, Better Business Bureau complaints against them, or any problems with their food causing, having bacteria in it that was sent to market, all of those kind of things. You can't currently do that right now. You can't go and find out from anywhere where the food came from so that you can do that research today. It says in the next sentence, it's seems like there's a story every week about recalls and serious illness or even deaths from contaminated food. And of course, we've been through that. Like for example, the romaine lettuce scare that we had about, it was 5-6 years ago now. But the romaine lettuce scare we had was that there was it salmonella, or was it
I think it was salmonella, yes. Yeah.
that came out of the farm? The problem at that point was that it was the romaine lettuce was distributed, but they only knew that it came from California. So what do you do when it comes from where you can't narrow it down to anywhere except a whole state?
And what state produces more produce than any other? It's California.
Exactly.
So it went everywhere.
Uh-huh. And so what ended up happening is the whole state of California basically destroyed their complete romaine lettuce stock. It took a long, long time to get it back in the stores because all the stores destroyed their stock, all the farmers destroyed their stock, and started all over again with new cleansing and cleaning protocols, just so that they could rid the supply chain of the lettuce that caused the contamination. So millions, if not billions of dollars worth of produce were destroyed just in that one event. So what blockchain seeks to do is to get to the point where we can zero in this lettuce or this produce caused a problem. This produce came from that farm. We shut down that farm. We take everything out of the supply chain from that farm and go about our business. And we've not been able to do that before. So what this Canadian company has done is they've created what they call a digital passport to validate the viability of produce coming from the farm. They call their company Grain Discovery. They're undertaking a lot of pilots to try to get farmers involved with the blockchain all the way through the supply chain, which would be all the trucking firms that move the produce, all the way to the stores, probably the distribution centers that keep it for a while, and then all the stores that actually get it to put it for sale. All of those items, all of those places that touch the produce would be on this blockchain for different reasons. They'd all have different permissions, but they'd enter their data, probably through a barcode, into the blockchain software, and each one of them collects data along the way so that they can, see the provenance of that all the way back from retail store back to the farmer. So they're marketing it. IBM already has one that they use here in the US, and it's called the IBM Food Trust. And if you go to Walmart, a lot of their suppliers are already on the IBM Food Trust. It has some weaknesses, and there's videos on YouTube by the CEO of Walmart telling where their weaknesses are in getting that whole supply chain on it, because it's huge. Can you imagine the amount of supply that is sold in Walmart stores? I mean, it's incredibly large. And so their challenge has been those small farmer that doesn't necessarily have computerized systems that can actually do what they need them to do in putting their produce into the blockchain at the very start. So there's still some work to do, but the whole point is blockchain is tackling this problem of provenance. And we'll show several examples of food type items, from wine to seafood to produce, that go from producer to store, and you can see it all the way. Robert.
Yeah, and just the fact that it costs so much money to start one of these blockchains for a massive multinational corporation actually leaves a huge market opportunity for a lot of small businesses who do want to start with this technology from their beginning. It leaves you with a huge competitive advantage to say, but look at our products. Our products are superior. You know where it came from. You can trust our product. Here you go. And there's a huge premium that can be charged for it as well. And we'll see that as we look at specific products.
Yeah, exactly. And there's already several videos. If you go to the channel that I've established for all these videos and where we're streaming from, There's a lot of other videos from other companies um, that show, I mean, from dog food to
Seafood.
natural gas to what? Seafood.
Mhm.
Several videos that we've talked about in the past already, and we'll talk about even more of them as I dig them up and share them with you. Alrighty, so this is what it is like on the live stream. We have a bit of fun. We share some information. The text over here, I have the text on a computer screen right next to me, so I can chat with you along the way as you type and give your questions. And what we need to do now, and Robert's going to put a little note out there. What we need to do now is if everybody could tell me that you're still here, and I'll mark you all present, especially David. I think you arrived a little late, so I don't have you incoming, but I see I have you outgoing. Let me know that you're still here, and then we're done. You can sign off, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next week. Alrighty. Here. Very good. Just so you know, Jacob is still here. Okay. Had a great time, guys. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. I'm going to sign off, but the chat will stay up so that you can keep telling me you're here, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.
I didn't press the buttons again. I
Okay.
apologize. We are now unmuted.
We're now unmuted
Let's
again.
start over.
Okay. So at least you saw, you go to Blockchain Demo IO, and there's a button that's like this that says 1 of 28. And you step through these and learn a little bit about blockchain at each step of the way. And as you get all the way to the end, and I'm going to quickly click to the end, okay?
Should be able to press skip.
Oh, I can, okay.
There you go.
And then you get to here, and what you do is you type something or something else into there, and you create a blockchain with text in here. Okay, and you add new block. And what happens is the data here is part of this hash. And the hash here, this previous hash is this hash. And so it points backwards and links them together. And that's block 1, block 2, and I'm going to put Robert in this block.
Hey now.
Yeah. And then when you just get all done, you just take me a picture of it.
Sales of my totally unique NFT of my name will be available soon.
Okay, and then you just take a picture of this. Just take a screenshot of this, or take a screen grab of this little section here, and send it to me to fulfill the assignment. Okay.
We'll stay live for a moment to get a thumbs
Hopefully
up.
hear an answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Do we still have anybody logged in?
We still have a couple of people here.
Okay.
So, yeah, and if there's any further questions, they have your email address and can email you and
Yep.
get it out.
Can we type anything? Yep. Anything.
Anything you want. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
See ya.